Talking Marywood University track and field here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire Service. We're at our Carol and Janelle, the Takeaway Kitchen. Rob Ahrens is with us. Rob, let's talk about this past weekend. Was really darn good for Marywood. This season's been pretty darn successful as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we capped off a great season this weekend at Gwen and Mercy University, which is where our conference championship was. It is the first conference championship for the new Atlantic East Conference, which we joined this year. And we were able to sweep both titles on the men's and the women's side, and it was great. It was a lot of great performances and a lot of mental toughness because the second day was really cold and rainy and wet. So it was great to see the athletes kind of hang in there and perform, the way that they have all season, even though the conditions weren't ideal. So.
You've been part of the running community in northeastern Pennsylvania for some time now, and people saying, Rob Ahrens, Rob's helping us and doing this, and some of those running camps and stuff. Let's talk about the opportunity for you with Marywood University.
Yeah, I was given the opportunity in August. I started in this position, and it's been a very hectic year. It's been a learning curve for me. I've spent most of my time coaching in high school, but it's been an awesome opportunity. I've really enjoyed being able to be there at Marywood, learn about the community there, and it's really been just a phenomenal experience, and looking forward to future years for sure.
Kevin Borelli, a friend,
yes,
but a coach as well, and a pretty darn good, talented guy. I'm sure that helps there at Marywood for you.
Yeah, definitely. He's been a huge help for me. Just to have someone that's been around for such a long time. He's been coaching there for a while, and so just to kind of know the ins and outs, and that's been huge. And yes, we've been friends for a while. We've spent a lot of miles running together, so we have a good rapport and work well together. Just we've had a lot of late night conversations going over coaching questions and agonizing over what we should do and things like that. So it's good to have somebody like that to be able to lean on and really help bring us to where we were to where we are now. So
having that pulse on your athletes to know, okay, let's pull away a little bit, let's push a little more, let's have the right workouts at the right times, listening to their bodies. You guys have that, your first-hand knowledge, right?
Exactly. That's such a huge part of coaching, is knowing when to do certain things and how to read the athletes, how they're responding to different workouts and where their confidence level's at, what they need to get their head back in the game if they're struggling a little bit or things like that. So that's been another way that he's been huge to help me, just in having experience with some of the athletes before. I'm coming into a new group that I haven't had any experience with, so it's been really good to be able to just talk with him about the specific athletes and what they each need at the specific times in the season.
Nice to see that we're getting positive things out of track and field now at the college level. It's kind of hit in the last couple of years. Misericordia's been doing it for some time.
Yeah.
King's had some success. University of Scranton with their program now. You guys with your program, and it's really nice to see and attracting some local athletes and some athletes from the Mid-East region here. The Atlantic region and a couple different states. That's good as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's really cool to see the track community growing, and this is only the 5th year of Marywood's program. So I've been blessed to step into a program that was really built up by the previous coach, Coach Senecal, and he's set things up really well. But we still have room to grow. There's still, I think we're headed in the right direction, and really excited for what the future is going to hold for us, for sure.
And I don't think you're even scratching the surface. You do have some kids out, but I think a year like this could, give you a nice shot in the arm going forward here. And these kids that we're going to talk to, young men and young women, I call them kids at 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
They've made a great impact and are going to be your recruiters. They're going to sell the program themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, we're hopeful that this is a tradition that's starting in Marywood. This is our first conference championship for track and field on the men's or the women's side. So we're hoping that this is not the last as well. So yeah.
Let's talk about going forward. What will the next couple of weeks have to offer for Marywood?
Sure. So this is our finals week this week. So we're laying pretty low this week, recovering from the weekend, letting everybody focus on their studies because they are student athletes, so that's really important. But once they're finishing things up, we'll get back into practice tomorrow, over the weekend, and then we have a handful of athletes that have qualified for the ECAC Championship, which is in Connecticut this year. And so we'll be going there next Wednesday and Thursday. And then we have a couple of athletes that are close to hitting qualifying marks for nationals, so they'll have a couple of different chances next week to try to hit that. So one you'll talk to, Ryan at Cabbage, and the pole vault is one that is close. Jake Cracer in the javelin is he's got some work to do, but it's within touching distance for him. And then David Haynes in the 5,000 he's probably got to drop about 10 or 12 seconds in order to hit that qualifying time. So so we're hopeful next weekend isn't the end, but there's definitely some exciting competitions next week as well, and we'll see how they do.
For you, you're gonna hit the recruiting trail. You're gonna try to get that first kind of class of your own in for Marywood. Talk about your pitch. What's your words out there to parents and the student athletes? And I'm sure it'll be something like, there's going to be a great opportunity academically. You got some young, enthusiastic coaches. You got some great teammates you're going to run into. Education goes a long way at Marywood University. Facilities are nice. There's a lot of positives, and I'm sure you're ready to go with whatever you're telling them, right?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest pitch from Marywood is just the community there. Having been in Northeast PA and around Marywood, but not necessarily involved prior to this year, I had no idea just what a gem it is there. It's kind of tucked away outside of Scranton, and it's just a really tight-knit community. And I think that social aspect of things, the student athletes there find, really feels like home for them, And obviously, the academics are great. There's some wonderful programs there. They really set the students up for success long term. And I think we have some great coaches. As you can see, we have a great program. There's some great success. So for those student athletes that are serious about continuing with their track and field career and want to make that a part of the next 4 years of their life, it's a great place to do that. So. Yeah.
I know you're going to get the best out of kids, and these young men and women we're going to talk to. We look forward to have that conversation. Rob, congratulations on a fantastic first year, and we wish you the best.
Thank you so much, John.
Chris Golombeski here on the John Mendola Show, Marywood University senior. Chris, you're a distance runner. Talk about how long you've been running long distance.
I've been running long distance since freshman year of high school, so since 2010, so about almost 9 years now.
Cross country runner as well. How does that season differ with track and field?
It's a little different because the distance that we race is different. So in track, I focus mainly on like the 5K, and cross country is an 8K. So we do the workouts are a little different. The mileage might be a little higher, but it's pretty similar, I'd say.
Probably a knowledgeable runner for yourself, but when you get some guys like Rob Ahrens and Kevin Borelli, talk about their knowledge and how they could kind of help influence you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a great influence. We're very fortunate to have them. They've been running for a very long time, and one of my favorite aspects of them as our coaches is that they run with us. They're very talented runners too, so they're very knowledgeable. They know what we can do, what they can do, and they run with us. So that's probably the most important thing, I'd say.
You're from State College and you found your way to Marywood University. Talk about the different atmospheres of what life was like there and what's life like at the Marywood University campus.
It's very different. Marywood's obviously a lot smaller. I started at Penn State actually, and I wanted to come to a smaller school, smaller environment. I know my professors, the teams are smaller, just everything's better for me.
You got a sister, Valerie. Talk about what she's up to and your relationship with her.
Yeah, we're very close. She graduated from Marywood from the physician assistant program, and she lives in Maryland.
Let's talk about the future for you, what you plan on doing.
So I plan on flight instructing and then getting my hours and eventually becoming an airline or corporate pilot.
That sounds pretty cool. As far as an area to settle down in, do you have any thoughts yet?
Not yet. No, I don't know exactly where, but short term I'll probably go back to State College.
Your family, let's talk about their influence on you and supporting you no matter what you do and what you have done, whether it's track and field or your major in school.
Yeah, they've been a huge influence. Coming to the races, the meets, coming to visit me at school, just everything. Like, they've been a great support system.
This year's pretty darn special. Talk about this past weekend and what it means for you as a senior at Marywood.
It's a great way to finish. I couldn't ask for anything better. A conference title. We were the underdog. We weren't picked to win. I mean, there's really no better feeling. I mean, it was just awesome.
Tight-knit, usually, the track and field community, and as you said, a smaller setting like Marywood University. Talk about the relationships that you've built here.
I made my lifelong friends. I mean, I know the kids I've met through distance running here and on the track team, I will stay in touch with forever. They're some of my best friends and my coaches too. And even Coach Rob said he'll continue to coach me after college as well. So I'll definitely stay in touch with everybody.
Chris, a pleasure to hear your story, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Jake Kraser with us here on the Job Mendola Show via Valley View and now Marywood University.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk about your junior year, the throwing aspect in college. What's it like going from high school to college and kind of get that hammer throw in there? I'm sure changes things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Going into college, I was mainly expecting to be a pretty good discus shot put guy because that's what my main events were. And when I got into college, I just picked up the hammer, and from the day I started, I just loved it. And even back in high school, I was never really expecting to be good at it. I was just expecting to continue on. And it just ended up becoming my main event. And then recently this year, I started throwing javelin, and javelin has now started becoming one of my top events too, which I actually really enjoy throwing now.
Talk about technique-wise, getting all the different techniques down, making sure you're healthy. Not an easy sport to just stay fully healthy because your upper body's doing a lot of different things, and your lower body too.
Yeah, it's a lot of stretching mainly, especially for me. I sometimes have back issues. Last year I ended up having a herniated disc in my back, so I was in a lot of pain for that. So now I just stretch and make sure I keep up on it, and if I feel something, I lighten my load, I stop throwing as hard. I'll focus more on technique rather than actual bar throws and stuff like that, so a lot of stretching.
Big family. Competitive, would you say? Athletics a part of, let's go through the family. You got a younger sister, Kate, an older brother, Paul, an older sister, Jenna. What was it like being in your family?
It was, especially for my brother and my younger sister, it was really hard because both of them were very good athletes. My older brother had some records at Marywood University, and my younger sister was always a track star. She played basketball and soccer and track, and it's insane watching her do her thing.
Computer science, your favorite subject. Let's talk about the future for you. Programming is kind of what you're thinking? Or?
Yeah, it's what I'm thinking, but it's kind of difficult to decide because computer science is such a big field. There's so many things I could do. So really, it's just as long as I get something in the field, I would be happy.
Let's talk about your folks and what they meant to you and keep pushing you and supporting you.
Yeah, definitely my mom and my dad. My mom especially, she's just always there pushing me. Sometimes it gets a lot, but I know always she just has my best interest in mind, and I always appreciate her in the end for it.
Coaching staff at Marywood, what have they meant to you?
The coaching staff has always been there for me. We don't have a throws coach at Marywood, but my coaches, they're always there. They're whatever we can do, we're going to help you. But they let me have my own freedom because as one of the throwing captains, I know what's going to be best for the team, and so they let me help choose what's going to happen and how we're going to go about practices and everything like that.
What's it like to get to know? I mean, we have a couple of student athletes here from North Pocono. You get to know them on a different level. Some kids from Jersey, different states. So what's it been like? This track team seems pretty close.
Yeah, we got really close over the years, and literally we're just a big family. It's really cool coming from this area and then seeing a lot of the people coming from around here. So Michaela's from North Pocono, Ryan is outside, he's from Western Wayne. So it's really cool being able to come all from different track teams around the area and then come together and be on one team and all be super close friends in the end.
Special weekend for Marywood in track and field for the women and the men.
Yeah.
What's that feel like to go through that and what you guys were able to accomplish?
Jeez, it was incredible. It was obviously we won the men's and women's side, and it was just absolutely insane going through it. I was last year I won field athlete of the year, and this year my goal was I didn't care about winning it. All I wanted to do was win the whole title. On the men's side, we did end up sweeping the individual awards. I won the Field Athlete of the Year, David Haynes won Runner of the Year, and Ryan won Rookie of the Year. So we were all very happy with that, but mainly we were happy coming away with the title.
Jake, a pleasure to meet you, speak with you, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
Ryan Cabbage with us here on the John Mendola Show via Western Wayne, now Marywood University, and sophomore year already?
Yes.
Boy, these times go quick. I was thinking, boy, it's only your freshman year, you're already a sophomore.
Yeah.
Just a couple years ago, we were talking in the studio at the radio station, and you're doing great things on the high school level. How about taking that to the next level and doing great stuff in college?
Yeah, it was kind of an easy transition because we would basically do the same stuff in high school, but then from the change from 300 hurdles to 400 hurdles, it was still kind of difficult.
Sure, but you had some great coaching on the high school level.
Yeah.
You come over at Marywood, and you have some more great coaching and maybe a little bit more distance expertise, but nonetheless, it's a pretty darn good track and field team.
Yes. We have, and one of our other coaches, Coach Shadow, he's been a big help with me with all the decathlon stuff too.
For you, let's talk about this year and how special it was, and some honors for you, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to come back and then get Rookie of the Year for my first year doing it because I didn't do it last year, and then to be able to win the title with the team was just incredible.
Let's talk about the siblings and what they're up to.
My brother's 21. He's my older brother. He is at Scranton University right now studying forensic chemistry, and my sister Samantha just ran at, I think it was leagues yesterday, for track in high school, and I think she's going to Miz next year for track and tennis.
Very nice. How about adjusting to the college life academically? What's that experience been like?
It was kind of difficult at first because you're completely on your own and you have nobody like telling you when to do it. You have to do it on your own. So it was kind of hard to get adjusted to, but then once you get it down, it becomes easy.
Something about that Western Wayne blood and becoming a state trooper. There's some other families up there with that. So talk a little bit about where that came from.
Well, my dad works up at the correctional facility in South Canaan. So I kind of want to do something along with that because I like watching the cop shows and everything. And I was like, that's something I can do.
Your role model is your coach?
Yeah, my coach Tyler Shadow. He's an incredible athlete, and then he just pushes me to become better and better every day.
Talk about punching the clock, and obviously, as we mentioned earlier, with a storied program like Western Wayne, you kind of know when to work and when to rest, and as you get to be a college athlete, I'm sure there's a couple more tweaks and different things like that, but staying healthy, how important, and has that been easy to do?
It's kind of difficult because the workouts are a lot harder now, and the competition becomes a lot harder because these are people that want to succeed, and like they choose to be there and they want to be there, and they're going to work for it, and you have to outwork them if you want to win.
Usually you get women's and men's teams, and they usually become pretty tight over time, whether it's a swim team, a track and field team. To accomplish 2 championships this past weekend felt special, and I'm sure brought everybody even a little closer.
Yeah, it did. Our teams are close to begin with too, and that's just awesome to see that the girls team also won it.
Let's talk about the next couple of weeks and what your possible opportunities could be here.
We go to ECACs coming up, and I'm doing decathlon up there, and then a couple individual events to try to get extra points. And I'm hoping to possibly qualify for nationals in decaf.
Well, we wish you the best with that.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan, great to catch up with you again, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.